And we are live. I'm actually on time. I'm actually on time. And I got my headphones plugged in this evening. Last time I had them on my head, but unfortunately I didn't have them plugged in. So tonight is Monday night. Welcome. I hope everybody is staying safe. If you're watching this in a replay, I know it's a stressful time right now for everybody, but all we can do is stay safe and keep our minds occupied right now. Preferably home would be the best decision. Um, of course, every Monday night I go live and I talk about the previous episode that aired the night before of the Sisterwives. And tonight's no different. Although I did get a retweet from Kody Brown retweeted uh, one of my tweets that I had messaged or said underneath one of his tweets, and I just made a video. Went up about half an hour ago or so. Hey, Bargain, how are you? I was listening to your live. I was trying to get everything together, and I just had put that video out, and I was getting all the thumbnails and everything ready. Speaking of thumbnails, let me go on screen share so you can go look at my face. Hello, up in the house records. But yeah, so he retweeted one of my tweets. I go into more detail on that video. It's basically deflection. I usually on the nights that Sisterwives they air, usually I'm just hashtagging Sisterwives and promoting my channel. I don't necessarily go under the tweets and hashtag or put my channel. I don't know, I just find that a little bit of distaste. That's just me, but to each their own. But I didn't promote my channel when I did tweet this, but it just gets under my skin that Kody used the virus of what's going around to sugarcoat his bad decisions in life. And that kind of got under my skin. You don't take a crisis like this and use it to your benefit to sugarcoat your bad life choices. So that's the issue I had there. And I go into more detail about that. And dissecting that tweet, I go into dissecting it because Kody doesn't know who he's retweeting other people's stuff. He doesn't know the people behind these screenings, and little does he know that I know a little bit about the whole polygamy game as he plays the narcissistic ways of a polygamous man. And I dissected his tweet very easily, and I can dissect the narcissistic ways of a polygamous man in a more detailed video, but I just mainly focused on that tweet with my video. But tonight we're going to talk about Sisterwives season 14, episode 12, Robyn versus Kody. My take on the whole thing is they're just house hunting, both Robyn and Kody acting childish and hard-headed. And I'm going to try to switch up the format from going scene to scene. I'm just going to try to bunch it all together instead of, just focusing on one scene at a time. But to get out of we'll go into more detail about their whole house hunting situation. But other than that, basically, only thing that happened was Christine ended up going to Aspen's house, which is one of Kody and Christine's daughters. Aspen is married to Mitch. They've been married for about a year. And ironically, they ended up moving back to Utah in Lehi, Utah, where it all started on a show for Sisterwives. They moved back there, and they have a child there and apparently Christine has perfected this hummus. And she talks about this hummus, and then when people were asking her last night on Twitter what her hummus recipe was that she perfected, it was just a recipe she got off the internet, so go figure. Um, but the whole time that Christine was explaining to Aspen about the not living in one home idea, she was smirking the whole time, like, yeah, I got my way. We're not living in one home. And she's like, I hate to shut his dreams down, but it wasn't going to happen. She's very smirking about it. And then while Christine says that she's doesn't think that moving to Flagstaff was a mistake. She still feels it's right. It's just taking a big hit with everybody having to buy and everything. Again, like I said in my last video, if they would have just thought it out more, they would have had everything. And a lot of people agreed with me with that tweet. And one person had said, well, they had moved to Flagstaff because of Robyn's oldest son going to college in Flagstaff. And I said, and I get that. I understand that. But that just means that Robyn and Kody put the needs of one child over 17 other children. So that doesn't seem very smart either. But then again, I don't think the whole polygamy thing and having multiple children you can't have individualized attention with is a smart idea either. Janelle goes back to North Carolina. I think, and I'm telling you, this is why I do not bash on these women at all. Because Christine's going to Utah, seeing her daughter, which makes sense of the recent tweets and Instagram of Christine having an emergency in Utah. But it makes sense that there might have been an emergency with Aspen. I hope and pray not, but recently she said she had an emergency to go take care of in Utah. So, but now that we know they live there, and Janelle went back to North Carolina to see her daughter, who's pregnant, Maddie, and I think it was funny the way Maddie puts it, and I feel for her because I didn't like pregnancy either. But she said she cannot wait to feel normal she cannot wait to feel normal again, meaning not being pregnant, because she's not a pregnancy unicorn, meaning she doesn't love I love being pregnant. She's not the pregnancy unicorn, is the way she puts it. So that's a good way to put it. But she's exhausted, and it shows up in the next episode that it looks like she's preparing to have her little girl. That's the only other things that were happening. I did not see Mary except for her in the private interview saying what she thought about the whole buying versus renting a house. Robyn's she says Kody's being pushy about buying a house, but they only have 28 days to move. And usually it takes 30 to 45 days to close on a house, but yet you only got 28 days to move. In a private interview, Kody kept on saying, I noticed this. He kept on saying, I get edgy. I get at this point of no return. I get. I'm angry. I'm scared. Da, da, da. It all revolved around what Kody felt, not about what anybody else felt about any kind of situations. He just cared about what he felt and wanted to make his point. And another thing I noted, and like not to be nitpicking on anybody, like to each their own. Makeup is an art, but Robyn's eyebrows really look drawn on tonight. You could see the line marks from the brow pencil. I don't know if that's just because I like makeup a lot and I notice little things like that. But they're looking like big ass commas. But to each their own. They go out. Robyn and Kody go out house searching to buy, but Robyn still wants to rent. She's still in the mind frame of renting. Kody's like, well, he wants to show the kids around these houses, maybe persuade the kids to help him persuade Robyn. They enlist the help of their realtor named Shelby. And Robyn says that it's Kody's ally because Shelby even said herself that Kody's an easy sell. She can sell to Kody all day long. It's Robyn who's the hard one. So Robyn sees Shelby as Kody's ally. And Shelby asked about Coyote's Pass, like what are the plans there? And this ties into my tweet about what I had said to Kody. He says that he was an idiot. The Las Vegas home's built in 6 months, but Kody didn't do the research on the infrastructure of Coyote's Pass, where Coyote's Pass is such a big land that, it takes more for the electricity to the water because it's a flood zone. Oh, be nice. I couldn't help to see her eyebrows. I'm telling you, like, to each their own. And if that's the thing, that's your thing. And I've seen tweets about people talking about her eyebrows. I had never said anything about that girl's eyebrows. But tonight they were looking like big old commas. I couldn't help it. Couldn't help it. But like I said, to each their own. Hell, I rock reddish violet hair, so to each their own. But yeah, he said he didn't do the research before moving to Coyote's Pass. Idiot mistake number one. And it just shows that he's not very good with finances. Like if he's got money, he just goes off and splurges, which I've known that to be with a lot of polygamous men. If they get in a large sum of money, they spend it, they splurge, and then they got nothing to show for it. And then they end up living in a we ain't gonna go there, but let's just say TLC is what's keeping Kody afloat. And then there's the second time that Kody said it's going to take 2 years to build. And my whole tweet was, you know what? If you would have stayed in Las Vegas and the show's filmed a year prior, and then you had to own this Coyote's Pass a little bit before that, you would have been already out to Coyote's Pass or almost to Coyote's Pass if you would have thought about it more clearly. And apparently, I don't know the situation. And I'm just an armchair, whatever. But, I dissect that in my other video a lot better. But Shelby, the real estate agent, goes on to show a 7-bedroom house. And it was out of the way a bit. They was going to have to change schools. And when Aurora, the one who has the anxiety issues, when she likes the house and Kody lets her know that she would have to go to a different school, Robyn interrupts and was like, no. We're not going to a different school. And da-da-da-da. Well, you ain't got a choice, really. I mean, you waited to the last minute. You don't have but so many days to close on a house. And she keeps on saying that Kody's stressing the kids out more when in reality, it's both of them making these kids more stressed out. They're both doing it because she's waiting till the last minute. I can understand she wants to rent and not hold back Coyote's Pass. But when you come down to the last freaking even 60 to 90 days of having to be out of that home, and you're willing to wait for the very last minute to try to get onto Coyote's Pass, and yet you're willing to wait that long, and your kids not having a pillow to lay their head on, a bed to lay on, you're willing to risk that, thinking that God's going to show you something. and risk your children having a place to live. And even if they would have still moved to Flagstaff, if they would have still moved to Flagstaff, but if they thought reasonable, instead of going out here buying 7-bedroom homes, let's say, hey, you know what, you two sisters, you're gonna shack up in the same room for right now. And then you're a boy, you get your own room, but the others, if they if they made them sleep in the same damn room just for a damn year, I mean, and build on Coyote's past and save money that way. But again, polygamists and their money, they're not good with it. And try to tell a polygamist that they're not doing good with their money, they think you're trying to control them. When that's not the case at all. You're just trying to help because you've been there, done that, seen that. But yet, like I said, dissecting the mind of a polygamist man is really hard because they're narcissists. They think that everything that they do in at the time they're doing it is right. And then when they even know that they're fucking wrong, they're not going to tell you that they're wrong. They're going to blame everything else, like the virus, on it contributing instead of their wrongdoing. That's just the way they think. That's why I'll never blame the women. You never see me, like, I'll call out what they've done wrong in the time being, but I've never, like, went out and vigilantly seek them to call out any little thing that they do on Twitter, because I still have some hope, because Janelle keep on going to North Carolina, not she's not wanting to be away from her grandbabies. And I think that might be one of her hopes of getting away from it. And, at least I'm hoping, praying. And, Mary being on her own. So I still have hope for them if they get out of the brainwashed crap. But as far as Kody, he's stuck in that mind frame, unfortunately. So it goes on to Kody and Robyn start packing, or not only bring it back, this 7-bedroom house that they show him. She's like, oh, I wish they would rent it, even though, she just a minute ago said that she didn't want to take them out of the school district, but now she's thinking about wanting to rent it. And so Shelby, the real estate agent, said, I'll ask them, but I can't promise you anything because that's not what they want to do. So the next scene, it goes on to the, Kody and Robyn packing and them talking about it, and Kody basically saying that he's trying to get up the guts to ask the owner of the seven bedroom home if they would be willing to rent. And then in the middle of this, Robyn's saying that she's come to terms, but she still wants to keep like the down payment and all as low as they could in case they can resell it and walk away. So that way they can still invest a lot of money into Coyote's past if they have to own it. And she's saying that she's hoping to still rent. All through all this, she's still hoping to rent. 28 days to move, still hoping to rent. And she wants a 2-year lease. She don't want a 1-year lease. But what the funny thing is? That I found out in this episode that they slept up. I don't even think they noticed that they said the house that they have to move out of was a 3-year freaking lease. So what's the difference between the 1, the 2, or the 3-year? There's no difference because she kept on hounding on Mary and Janelle for getting 1-year leases, but in all actuality, 2-year lease or a 3-year lease just means you're stuck in that lease even longer. That at any time, it's most contracts for rental, when you're renting a private home like that, they have it in there that at any time that they decide that they want to sell it, that they can, they just got to give you a certain amount of days, of a notice and time to move out. Has nothing to do with how long your lease is. So she's still stuck on that. Kody then eventually works up the guts to call the owner of that bigger home. And Kody calls him Craig. And he's like, oh, no, my name is Curtis. And he chalks up, oh, I was just nervous. Whatever, Kody. And he calls himself a dumbass for it. And I wrote big letters right here on my notes. True. because he is a dumbass. In my opinion, Kody Brown, the polygamous narcissist, is a dumbass. But the homeowner, Curtis, he goes on to say that he has to ask his wife and that he will get back to them within 24 hours. And that's where that conversation ends. Unfortunately, that's basically where the episode ends. But Kody says that he's willing to pay a ridiculous amount to rent to appease Robyn, and so that way he could start building on Coyote's past. But what doesn't make sense to me about this is, I don't know where it is in different parts of the world, like on the West Coast. But around from where I'm at, 2 different states, by the way, when it comes to buying a house, even though renting, can be cheaper at times, my mortgage payments are are less than what my rent was, what I was paying. Like, I pay about the same right now in mortgage payment than 3 years ago on a what is it? No, it's about 4 years ago. 4, 5, I don't know. I moved so many times. 5 years ago from the when I was renting before I bought my first home. Uh my mortgage is lower now than when my last rental, or it's about the same, give or take like $25. But that's because, and and the place I'm living in is like 20 times bigger. I don't know if that's like everywhere in this. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. My last rental I had compared to the house I have now is like, give or take $25, the same price. I hope that makes sense. So I don't know if that's the same on the West Coast or if it's the same in the other parts, depending on where you go. Like, because I know if you're like closer to an inner city, it's going to be more. Like, if you move to Los Angeles, my house is probably worth a hell of a lot more in Los Angeles than it would be around here. All right, up in the house. So I hope that makes sense. So I don't know what they're saying as far as he's willing to pay like bukus of rent, because if you think about it, all right, you rent a house for 24 months. He says 2 years to build since he hasn't started building. 2 years to build, and you pay a steep um, rent. Let's say 7 bedrooms. I don't know how much it would go for in rent. Let's just say to be nice, 2,500. You times that by 24, you think that's less than your down payment and every monthly payment that you would have until you would have your house built? You got to be fucking shitting me. I cannot make it make sense in my head. Like, I've tried to think of every possible thing, because apparently to Kody, I don't know the situation. And if I don't know the situation in which it's been played on the TV, if I don't know the situation, then you're lying about something. And I try to think of every possible situation. And see, since you're on TV, you left room to speculate. And that's what I'm doing. And it's in my opinion. So none of it makes sense to me of every angle that I've tried to pull. Even if you go up to $5,000 a month, if you're willing to pay $5,000 a month, how is that saving you any money? I don't get it. I think it would have been better for him to just stay in Las Vegas until that house was built, before jumping the gun and moving to Flagstaff. He should have looked up this stuff instead of just buying a property saying, "Oh, it's a beautiful property," but it's a flood zone. You just said tonight it's a flood zone. Nobody told you this. Then again, they probably thought, look, somebody gullible. Just like Shelby said, he's an easy person to sell to. Now I can see why. But that's basically, uh, oh, and then after he gets off the phone with the owner, Kody talks about signing paperwork for the 7 bedrooms to own it, and Robyn's still stuck on a rental, and she says she'll sign it the last minute. Robyn said if she knew she had to move again, like if she knew when they were living in Las Vegas, if she could foresee them having to move again, she would just stay in Las Vegas. Duh! That's what you should have done in the first place. Hello. I have that written in big capital letters too. Hello. Um, but I see it as Robyn is stubborn and hard-headed like Kody. She wants to sign in 2 days, and then she will. She, she'll sign, but she wants to wait for 2 days. What's 2 days? I don't know. And this part, and she was crying about it and all, and this part's really got me. Kody goes, "I'm being bullied." Out of hold on a second. He's gonna be home late because he be working. Shame that he's got to work. My spouse has to work through all this, but you know what? At least he doesn't work around a lot of people, and he manages that shit at night, so he can point fingers. So we don't have to worry about him hopefully catching that. He's a little bit safer than working in a whole bunch of people with a whole bunch of people. But I'm grateful to have somebody who's has a very good work ethic. But anyways, Kody says he's being bullied. Now, if that's a big crock of shit, if I've ever heard something. A grown man getting bullied by his wife, pressured. You put yourself in this predicament. That'd be something like for somebody that's, say, a young kid getting bullied in school and goes up and taunts the bully and they're like, hit me, hit me. That never happens. This is your wife. You put yourself in this predicament. And you gotta dig yourself out. There's no such thing as being bullied when it's your wife went hard-headed and you're being hard-headed and y'all just clashing. That's not being bullied. I swear, between him using the coronavirus, I didn't mean to say that. Him using that against, to work in his favor on his bad decisions, to say he's being bullied, I can't with this man. And no wonder I don't like any polygamous men, because they're, ugh. Anyways, the next, that was pretty much, all I put down, and I noted that, Robyn's clearly upset, but she keeps on putting it off. Yeah, you're worried about, delaying Coyote's pass, but yet seems like you're not too worried about your kids not having a pillow to lay their head down on at night. You know what I mean? Like, really? Like, I've been saying, forget you other wives. I'm going to make sure I buy this house to make sure my kids have a place to sleep. Like, get out of here with that. But the next episode, it shows that there's the forest fire. Mary was sent pre-evacuation precautions. Christine kind of gets under her skin with her jokes. Mary tells her to stop goofing off. Christine asks if she needs anything. She's like, yeah, I need my house moved. And it gets kind of very intense with that. And, of course, Robyn's still... and it's moving day for Robyn and Kody, and Robyn's still thinking about rentals, of course. But then it also shows that Maddie's going into labor, and then Kody goes, and this is where I feel like I'm getting pulled into every direction, that one wife needs me here, one wife needs me there. You know what? I understand, like, you shouldn't have done this. polygamous thing anyways, because you can't divide yourself, and it's stupid because your kids aren't getting the best of you in the first place. In this predicament now, I'm pretty sure Robyn gets 75% of his time with the younger kids. She can handle the younger kids for a little bit while he goes to North Carolina to help his daughter while she's in labor. Like, you haven't been around going to North Carolina, which all these other times. Why can't you just go this time? And that's the way it looks like it's playing out to me on for the next episode. I don't know if that's exactly how it's going to go down, but if it is, I'm going to be really pissed because it's either Robyn being selfish or Kody not caring about his new granddaughter as much as he says he does. So that's where we're left with it now. That's all for this episode. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here because, quite frankly, I just got done doing that other video and my mouth is really dry and I want to go lay down. So, yeah. I hope everybody's staying safe and you have a good night. If you're watching this back in the replay, I really do appreciate you. And I'm going to show this on the screen. Make sure you go check out my last video with Kody Brown where he retweets my tweet with his little devil horns. And I'm going to tell you how I really think of a polygamous man. And I will quick go in depth with that. Like I said, like the video in that video, I said like the video. If you want me to do it in depth, I can debunk all of Kody's shit and every damn polygamous man who thinks he's smarter than everybody else when they're not. But I can do that if you hit the like button for that video. Go ahead and check it out. Yeah, and if you hit the like button on this video, I'd really, really appreciate it. So until next time, remember, it's always better to be on the outside of the drama looking in. Make sure you're staying safe. Stay in if you can. Hand sanitizer, best friends, gloves, best friend. So yeah, until next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Sorry about the sniffles too. Let me exit out of here.